Hello everybody, Nate the Gamer here, and as the title suggests, I have the brand new Nintendo Switch V2. This revision of the Nintendo Switch was launched in the beginning of August. What's different about this version is the CPU and GPU. Both are running on a brand new revision of the Tegra X1 processor by Nvidia. And from some of the reports that I've seen, Sharp is now manufacturing panels for the Nintendo Switch. It's nothing really major, but the screen is, from what I've seen, a little bit brighter and a tad bit warmer. As for the positives, this version of the Nintendo Switch has an extended battery life because of the brand new Tegra processor. According to the Nintendo website, the launch model of the Nintendo Switch can play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for 3 hours. However, the brand new revision will be able to play Breath of the Wild for 5.5 hours. That's a pretty sizable gap. Reviews to Go actually has a nice big chart of a lot of games on the Switch and how long they would last on the console. These tests usually have the Nintendo Switch's Wi-Fi either on or off, and a certain level of screen brightness. Links to this chart will be in the description below. What I find pretty surprising is that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate lasts for 7 hours and 2 minutes on max brightness and with the Wi-Fi on. That's good to know if you're participating in a tournament and need some practice in handheld mode. And the funny thing is that the battery inside is still the same, meaning that it still takes the same amount of time to charge. With my old unit, I was always trying to budget how long I would play certain games, and it always kind of discouraged me from playing certain titles for a long period of time. But now with the V2, I can play more graphically demanding games for a little bit longer. Now, I'm not sure if it's a placebo effect, but the Nintendo Switch V2 does feel a little bit sturdier. On the older units, you can really wiggle the Joy-Cons if they're on the console. I actually put a little bit of tape on the bottom corner of mine to prevent them from doing that. However, with the new unit, they pretty much stay in place, with very little wiggle room at all. It really does feel like an all-in-one unit now. I also noticed that the Switch was generating less heat. You see, whenever I played a more graphically demanding game on my launch Switch, the fans would really rev up, but now with the V2, since the chip is more efficient, I noticed that the fan is either revving up at a very low RPM or just not turning on at all. And really, that's where all the differences end. The Switch V2 still works with every single controller and piece of software that was released for the Switch. However, every single physical issue I had with the Switch is still present. The dock is still made out of a very cheap plastic, meaning that if you didn't shell out $10 for a glass screen protector, you're gonna cheese grate the living crap out of your Switch. The kickstand is still a little bit mediocre. The internal storage is still 32 gigabytes. Bluetooth audio is still not supported, and you still can't charge the Switch in tabletop mode. Also, the Nintendo Switch V2 runs games the same as the V1. Games don't run at a higher resolution, and there's no extra frames per second. Which for now, it's kind of passable. You know, a lot of the ports that are made for the Switch are being improved with patches later on. With the next generation of consoles literally around the corner, it's making me a little bit concerned. So, would I recommend this version of the Nintendo Switch? If you're someone that doesn't have a Nintendo Switch yet, a lot of these shortcomings can be overlooked. Some of these fixes can be patched in future updates by Nintendo. If you're someone that travels a lot with your Nintendo Switch and is always connected to a battery bank, I do recommend upgrading to this version. However, if you've never taken your Switch out of your dock, why are you even thinking about upgrading anyways? You might as well either buy one of those M cables or wait a little bit longer and see if Nintendo's going to release a Pro version. As for me, I think I got my money's worth, but I didn't pay full price for it. Instead, I traded in my old Nintendo Switch to GameStop and put the credit towards the new one. Now unfortunately, the value of Nintendo Switches have gone down, but when I did it, I got $225 for the Switch. And that was with all of the accessories, dock, cables, the stupid wrist straps. And when I traded in a couple other things that I didn't need, the total that I paid was $55. Pretty much the same price as a brand new AAA title. If you're going to exchange your Nintendo Switch for a new version, be sure to call them prior to your visit to ask if you can do a system transfer in store. You most likely have to provide your own personal hotspot, but since I have an unlimited data plan, it was alright. Now, upgrading to the V2 wouldn't have been such a problem if Nintendo didn't mess up cloud saves. Nice job, Nintendo. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you guys are new and you've enjoyed what you've seen, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Links to buy everything featured in this video will be in the description. If you have any questions about the Nintendo Switch V2, leave a comment. Oh, and by the way, Retro World Expo is coming up very soon, and I will be attending, so stay tuned for a video on that. But anyways, I'm Nate the Gamer, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.